This is one-on-one session with the ForumIAS founder and director Ayush Sinha. In this session, students are asked questions to test their preparedness for the personality test. One-on-one sessions are not mock panel sessions.
May I come in, sir?
Please come in.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Have a seat.
Thank you, sir.
So, Abhishek, briefly introduce yourself to me.
Sir, my name is Abhishek K H Bellary. I hail from Bellary district of Karnataka. I am a mechanical engineer from NIT Surathkal. I have also done my MBA from IIM Bangalore. I have work experience in Indian Oil Corporation for 2 years, and I have also worked with Danaher Corporation as their general manager candidate for a year. I've been preparing for civil services from 2019, and a hobby that I pursue in my free time is learning Indian languages, and a project I'm very fond of is focusing on improving women workforce participation that I did during my MBA days, sir.
You worked in IOCL.
Yes, sir.
The government in India is focusing on electric vehicles, e-vehicles.
Yes, sir.
My question to you is that we are still fueled. These e-vehicles will consume electricity. This electricity will be generated from fossil fuels. Then what is the whole point of going for e-vehicles?
Yes, sir. Currently, we will have to manufacture e-vehicles using fossil fuels, although
No, it's not the manufacturing. They're dependent for the electricity supply on fossil fuels.
Yes, sir.
Then how are we making India green by adopting e-vehicles?
Yes, sir. I understand the point wherein we have to get lithium and then manufacturing.
I'm not concerned about that. I'm simply saying right now vehicles consume petrol and diesel, which are fossil fuels.
Right, sir.
If we make them e-vehicles, then they consume electricity. Electricity is generated from fossil fuels. How are exactly we making it green?
Sir, I believe if the energy is actually basis renewable energy, the battery stores energy based on solar power or hydrogen.
It's not solar. Electric vehicles are going to be charged from where?
Sir, there is a concept of hydrogen cell electric fuel,
That
electric
is not
cells as
done
well.
yet. That is
Right,
not-
sir. Right, sir.
We are currently going to use lithium-ion batteries, probably.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes.
So they're going to charge using electricity. And that electricity is going to come from fossil fuels. And what is the government logic?
Sir, I'm not very clear about this concept. I have to probably go back and...
No, e-vehicles, electric
Yes.
vehicles.
Yes,
In
sir.
Delhi, what they have done is they have come up with a vehicle scrappage policy. Any diesel vehicle which is older than 10 years will be scrapped. You cannot drive it in Delhi. Any vehicle that is petrol and more than 15 years will be seized and scrapped. What the government says is you buy e-vehicles. Till 2019, in India, we had Bharat Stage 4, BS4 fuel. You're
Yes.
from IOCL, so that
Yes.
is why. And
Yes,
in
sir.
2020, the government companies introduced Bharat Stage 6. We skipped BS5.
Yes.
Alright?
Yes.
You're from IOCL, so I expect you to know this. So now, whenever there is increase in pollution, the government bans BS4 vehicles, which means that people who bought vehicles till 2019 cannot drive it in Delhi.
Yes, sir.
है ना?
Yes, sir.
You can only drive right now BS6.
Yes, sir.
Secondly, the government in India, national union government as well as particularly in Delhi, there is this big force on e-vehicles or electric vehicles. These electric vehicles will have a battery and they can be charged, right? They will be charged from electricity. This electricity is actually in our country, we are using fossil fuels primarily to produce electricity. So how are you making it green compared to the current vehicles which are consuming petrol and diesel?
Sir, I'll have to go back and think about it.
Okay, that's okay. So you are from NIT K Surathkal.
Yes, sir.
K, what does K stand for?
Karnataka, sir.
Near Surathkal, we have a lot of factories. What primary factories are there near Surathkal?
Sir, it is an industrial area. There is a refinery, sir. Other than that, there are manufacturing setups there of Sir, I'm not very clear about the manufacturing, what the entities that are being
Guys would
manufactured.
travel from, let us say, from Surathkal to Mangalore, right? So on both sides, at least on one side, because on the other side you have the coastline, you get, or it may not be the coastline, no, it's not the coastline, but you will see industries, factories on both sides of the road.
Yes.
What primary factories are there? One you said is refineries.
Yes.
What else is there?
I'm sorry, sir.
Did you
I
ever
don't-
travel in a bus?
I have traveled, sir.
Were you able to notice some huge factories?
Yes, sir. I was able to notice, but primarily Mangalore refinery was something that I came across.
Mangalore refinery, okay. How about fertilizer? Big fertilizer plants are there.
Sir, I'm not aware of it, sir.
You have done mechanical engineering. How do you plan to use your mechanical engineering knowledge in administration?
Sir, during my course of mechanical engineering, I have learned objectivity and understanding anything based on a systems approach. So I believe even if I am not placed in a particular sector where I can use directly mechanical engineering, I'll be able to use the mindset of a mechanical engineer.
What are some components of this mindset, or what are some principles of the mindset of an engineer?
So the components are, one is discipline, secondly, a broad view of an idea, thirdly, a systems approach that I believe in, understanding the entirety, input, output, as well as the fault that goes on in a system. I think, and
You have worked in Danaher.
yes, sir.
Am I pronouncing it correctly?
Yes, sir.
What does it do?
Sir, it's an American conglomerate. It has about 22 companies under the system. I worked with Videojet Technologies, operating company under Danaher that is into printing solutions, sir. Coding and printing solutions.
What is 3D printing?
Sir, it's a additive type of printing. Generally, conventional printing involves subtractive printing, where we create a mold and then we go into the shape. 3D printing entails feeding a software design and then adding materials, sir.
We are seeing that suddenly a lot of young engineers like you from IITs and NITs, they are coming for civil services. Can you think and tell me what is the reason from the economic perspective or the structure of our economy, the nature of our economy? From that perspective, can you think and tell me why young engineers are coming for civil services?
Sir, firstly, I believe job security is a reason why young engineers believe that even if they cannot get a stable job after engineering, even after premier institutions, by getting into civil services, they can have job security. Secondly, sir, I believe the reason is the growth by, for example, working in different sectors by not leaving the job. So civil services provides that medium where one can actually be a part of service and not leave a particular job, sir. And thirdly, the impact and scale in an economy to grow in a particular MNC, sir.
Okay, if I were to ask you, just give me one reason, what would it be?
Income stability.
Income stability is why people are coming for civil services.
Yes, sir.
I don't think somebody from your background with so many good degrees from an NIT has an income problem.
Yes, sir. It is not my personal reason, sir, but from my discussions with people.
Anyone who's from an NIT or an IT does not have an employment problem, do they?
Sir, they do not generally have, sir. But then from my discussions, what I found is after a few years, people are not happy in their jobs and they want to get into even a low paid job which gives them a satisfaction. So I did not put it right. Probably job satisfaction could be the reason, sir.
How did Karnataka in general and Bangalore in particular end up becoming the Silicon Valley of the East?
Sir, it started with a policy. Karnataka had a policy, IT policy in 1997. Even prior to that, Karnataka had a land policy in 1970s which gave an impetus for several industries, IT industries to come up. Then there were initiatives, sir. For example, now there is Beyond Bengaluru initiative, wherein outside Bengaluru, Bangalore, Karnataka is trying to push IT industry in areas like Hubli and Mangaluru. There is an immense skill base also available. Based on a report, more than 37% of youth, 37% of population are youth in Karnataka, especially Bengaluru. And sir, there is also universities, educational institutions, research institutions in Bangalore, along with the weather system as well. So all these coming together of all these
What are your
aspects.
hobbies, Abhishek?
Sir, a hobby of mine is learning Indian languages, and I also love to watch tennis, sir.
How did you get this hobby?
Sir, my father and mother, they travel across Karnataka, and during my education as well as work, I travel across India. So I really had this immense.
So how many languages can you speak now?
Sir, I am proficient in 5 languages: English, Hindi, Kannada, Konkani, and Telugu, and I'm learning Tamil.
What is the difference between Kannada and Konkani?
So the script are the same, but the difference lies in the grammar, the speech community also, and the basic patterns of speaking, sir.
Got it. Kannada, Hana, Konkani and Tamil as well.
Telugu, sir.
Telugu.
Yes, sir. And I'm learning Tamil, Tulu as well as Kurki.
Right. What is your inspiration for learning so many languages? You're already done with 5 languages.
Sir, I believe the biggest window to learn a culture is language. And learning cultures is very exciting for me. Whenever I've traveled to a new place, I try to learn the culture of the people. And the easiest way to do that is by language.
What are your biggest strengths, Abhishek?
So perseverance is my biggest strength. Other than that, I'm generally calm and composed. And I'm a curious individual, sir. And a last strength of mine is, I believe that I'm a very empathetic person.
What is the difference between sympathy and empathy?
So in empathy, we feel the pain of a different person by being a part of that particular pain as well. And then we take an extra step towards solving that pain and be compassionate about it. Whereas in sympathy, we do not feel the pain as such, sir. We understand the pain and then we move on. So there is a difference in the belongingness towards that pain.
Abhishek, what is your motivation for civil services?
So my biggest motivation is the job prospect itself. It is immense in terms of working in very different sectors. Although my initial inspiration was always my father, but the eventual push came from understanding the scale at which I can work and the contribution that I can make in many small ways.
All right, Abhishek, your interview is over.
Thank you, sir.